Hello everyone, it's Adriana here, and today I'm creating some art journal pages in my art journal book. I'm using Couture Creation products and I created a couple of pages, but I'm going to show you one page and the same techniques used on the other two pages. So first of all, I have a page from my art journal book. It's about 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches in size, and I have some vintage music paper and from a vintage book, and I'm just gluing them down with some quick adhesive glue from Couture Creations down onto this watercolor cardstock card. You can use any journal book, and then once that's dry I'm going to apply a coat of white gesso. This is Couture Creations white gesso, and just give it a really nice thick coat over those pages. That will protect that page. You can give it 2 coats, but I only gave it 1 coat. Once that's dry, I'm going to be using my gel printing plate to create a bit of texture and color in the center, but never in the center. I'm doing a little bit offside, and here you can see on a couple of the other journal pages I've created a bit of colored texture, and I'm going to show you how I created that with my gel printing plate. So the gel printing plate from Couture Creations is 5 by 7 inches, and I love using this with my alcohol inks. It does stain the gel printing plate because alcohol inks is quite a very strong pigment color, so be prepared for that. And also I just used 2 colors, and I've listed all my products in the description below in the video, so if you want to see which colors I've used, they're all in the colors section or in the materials section below. So here I have, I've just got a couple of colors. I've used my brayer to spread out the color, and just ensuring that that is going to be all dry before I apply some white acrylic paint. Now I've also just dabbed a little bit of color more there, and I'm just going to spread that around and just ensure that is all dry before I place some acrylic paint. So here I have some acrylic paint. You don't need a lot. I'm just applying a little bit here and there, and using my brayer I'm going to smooth it out over the gel printing plate. And then once I've done that, I'm going to place that textured page that I've already created with the vintage music script and coated gesso paper over the top of that, and that will lift a beautiful greeny yellow sort of color imprint onto my page. Using my small brayer, I'm just pressing down the page so I make sure I lift off all that color that is imprinted, so be imprinted on my paper from the gel printing plate. So once that's done and I'm thinking I'm happy that I've absorbed all the color, I gently peel that back, and that will reveal a 5 by 7 square size of beautiful color on my vintage gessoed page. So you can still see the texture from the gesso, and also the beautiful script and notes from my music vintage book that I've actually applied onto my page. You can still see that through, and I really like that sort of feel. So I'm now using the Couture Creations all-in-one magnetic art workstation. This is a fantastic tool when you're creating with stencils and stamping. It's great because it's got grid lines to line up where you want things to be if you're looking for right lining up of elements, but it comes with a magnetic ruler and 4 magnets, but I'm using the magnetic ruler to hold down my page and my stencil, so then when I rub over some bronze colored ink from Card Decor Pigment ink, it's just going to never move. And this is the one best thing about this art workstation, that you can use the magnets to hold down your papers and your stencils while using a brush to colour in some colour over the stencil, or even when you're using texture paste. So it's a great tool for doing this on with large pieces of paper. It is a 12 by 12, so it is quite large, and you can use this for stamping and also for doing texture like I am now with stenciling and inking, and also even with some texture paste as well. So that's a really great tool. The art workstation holds everything in place while you're doing some stenciling, colouring in. So the next thing I want to do is add some colour and with some background stamps. So I have this beautiful background stamp. It's from the new range. They're 5 by 7 in size, but I'm just going to use a section of it with some Couture Creations Stays in Place alcohol ink, and I'm using the mint green, and this is a really lovely color, and it sort of blends in with that beautiful texture that I got from the gel plate. Now the Stays in Place ink pad comes with the re-inker. You need to actually add the color before you start it and using it. So I'm just going to give that a great big shake, because you need to break down the pearlized pigments that are inside this ink, because this ink is actually pearlized, and I can't show it to you enough how pearlized it is. It's quite unique, and this is all you need to do, is just add a few drops of that once you've shaken it completely in its re-inker bottle. And using the white spatula that is included in the pack, you just spread it over. Now there's no need to spread the whole ink pad, that's very wasteful. You just need to do half, and always keep using that half, and then just placing that spatula inside the lid with a little glue dot. So I'm going to dab some sections of this. I'm not doing the whole ink. I'm not going to ink the whole background. I'm just doing some sections and just adding that onto my page for a little bit of textured background stamp. These is great for embossing as well as inking, and I'll have a few more videos on showing different ways to use these background stamps. So this is pretty quick and easy, and I'm using the Stays in Place mint green, which really sets off beautifully with my center gel plate color of the alcohol inks, which I think was pistachio and daffodil, which I really like, or mint, sorry, it's mint and daffodil alcohol ink. So you can see slightly there the raised textured stamping there with the background in the mint green, and it's a pearlized finish. I really love that finish, and that just sets off my background. Now to create the framed daffodils, I've done a quick video in another video, but basically you need to use the translucent paper, and you stamp the image with the Stays in Place ink pad. I've used the Jet Matte Black, and I got a great image on that, but you don't colour with the alcohol inks on the same side you stamp. You turn it over and use the alcohol inks on the reverse side, so the colour comes through beautifully and it won't smudge your black. Now the reason because translucent paper is not a porous paper, it's just sitting on top. The stamping is just sitting on top, and if I was to stamp a colour over that stamped image with the inks and with any other alcohol inks or permanent inks, it will actually smudge. So when you, after finishing colouring it, it comes through beautifully, so you don't even notice it that it's been coloured the wrong way. And with a little bit of quick adhesive glue, I'm gluing that down onto my page. Quick and easy. And I just used a little bit of shading with a grey Pitt pen, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm just going to add some more texture with some script stamp that I had from a previous collection, and just dabbing that over with the Stays in Place ink pad, because this ink pad you can use on porous and non-porous surfaces. So once that's complete, I'm just going to do some shading around the flowers and also put some ink around the edges just to give it a next textured look, a little bit of black around the edges. So it's a really quick and easy way of using the translucent paper. This is the Pitt pen I was telling you about. It's a grey one, and because this surface has got gesso over it and translucent paper is another sort of non-absorbent textured paper, you can smudge it around really lovely, and that just creates a bit of shadows with this textured pen, Pitt pen in grey. I really like this effect. It just gives it depth and a bit more vintage look to it. So that's my page that I created. I've also created this page here, which I coloured a few more of the poppies and add them to the page, and also I did one with the daffodils. Just quick and easy journal pages. I still haven't added a word sentiment to this, but I'll do some more with this work later on. So using all these products from Couture Creations, you can create so many things. And using that translucent paper, don't think that if you do art journaling you can't use it on a card. You could actually make this into a card with the same techniques. You could use it on scrapbooking with the same techniques that I've done today in my art journal book. So that's just a quick and easy way of using a couple of products from Couture Creations. I hope you like my video. If you do like my video, please give it a big like. Write any comments in the comment section if you have any questions. As I mentioned before, all the list of materials are in the description below this video. If you want to see more, visit couturecreations.com.au for more inspiration from me and all the design team. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.